In today's Thoughtfully Fit free workout, we explored how to create a winning culture in your team. And I wanted to just give a quick overview and a recap if you missed it. So, Thoughtfully Fit teams are teams that train so that they can intentionally create a culture that really supercharges success. And they're made up of individuals who train and practice to be thoughtfully fit. And so we want to dispel the notion that it's enough to just hire the best people, the strongest players, employees, lawyers, workers, whoever it might be, managers. It's not enough. You need to train as a team. So we see this all the time in organizations that we work with. It's important. You need to make a right hire. That's essential. Sometimes that's hard to get right, but once you make the right hire, then you need to train and invest in that person. And that's great. And that's important to do as you're building your organization and creating a high-performing team. You need to invest in and train all of the team members. But that's not enough. What's essential and the secret sauce that's important to add on to this component is to train as a team. Just like any high-performing sports team, if you have a football team, they might have the best quarterback and defensive linebacker and all of the right players, but if they don't train as a team, they're not going to get peak performance. And so that's what we explored today, are 3 factors of thoughtfully fit teams. And these 3 factors are what we've seen after working thousands of hours with teams. The fear factor. So the highest performing teams don't eliminate the fear. There's fear of failing. There's fear of change. There's fear of the imposter syndrome. There's fear of conflict. All sorts of fear exists on teams. It's not about eliminating the fear. It's about creating a brave and safe space for your team members to be courageous. The fight factor. Thoughtfully fit teams have a lot of conflict. They have a lot of disagreement. So it's not about eliminating the fight. It's about creating the ground rules for teams to be able to disagree respectfully, instead of what we often see when we're working with organizations and teams. When you don't fight fair, there's toxins. There's blaming and criticism and defensive,ness and stonewalling and contempt. The third factor is the freak factor. Everybody is unique. We all have quirks and we all have differences. Thoughtfully fit teams are made up of diverse, unique individuals. And so what's critical for peak performance on your team isn't that you are annoyed with the people who are different than you and annoyed with their quirks and trying to change them or fix them. It's that you acknowledge the differences and you don't just tolerate them, you actually embrace the differences for maximum performance. So I invite you to think about your team and where do you need to focus in order to maximize the results and supercharge the success of your team. I'm Darcy Luoma. Thank you so much for joining me. And the best compliment you can give is by liking this, by commenting, and sharing it with someone else who you think might benefit from this video. Thank you so much. Take care.